Did Jesus Christ approve of the Bible, especially the New Testament as we know it today? The answer may surprise you. When Jesus walked the earth, the New Testament simply did not exist. Not a single gospel, not one letter. There was no compiled Bible as we have today. Jesus never wrote a book, never commissioned a book, and never laid eyes on the writings that would later be attributed to him. The earliest New Testament writings appeared decades after Jesus, and some books were debated or accepted only centuries later. So the question, did Jesus approve of these books, becomes more complex because he never saw them at all. So who wrote these texts? Most New Testament books are anonymous. Later tradition assigned names, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, but the texts themselves never claim these authors. And here's something even more striking. These books were written in Greek, a language Jesus did not speak or teach in. Jesus spoke Aramaic, the everyday language of rural Judea, not the polished literary Greek of the Gospels and epistles. So who decided which books would represent Jesus? Not Jesus himself. Church leaders, decades, and then centuries after him. Different communities had different writings and beliefs. To preserve unity, church authorities selected the books that supported the theological positions they believed, promoted, and sometimes debated among themselves. The Bible as we know it today is the result of institutional decisions, not Jesus' direct approval. When we compare Jesus' recorded teachings with later church doctrines, there are clear differences. For example, Jesus taught that God is one, utterly singular, not divided. Jesus described himself as the Messiah, a messenger empowered by God. Jesus emphasized that he could not act on his own, but only by God's permission. These teachings are simple, direct, and centered on the oneness of God. Yet later, church doctrines shifted dramatically. Ideas about Jesus' nature, authority, and relationship to God evolved over time, often in ways that do not reflect the plain words attributed to Jesus himself. So did Jesus approve of the Bible we have today? Historically, the answer is he never saw it, never read it, and never confirmed it. The books were written long after him by unknown authors in a language he didn't speak, and were selected by institutions that developed their own beliefs, sometimes in ways that contradict his recorded teachings. This doesn't make the Bible unimportant, but it does mean that understanding Jesus requires looking at him separately from later religious decisions. In the end, the real question may not be whether Jesus approved of the Bible, but whether the Bible, as shaped by later institutions, truly reflects the message he taught. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.